Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video and another opportunity to see this awesome image of Nicol Bolas. I'll change it eventually when I find another cool looking planeswalker. But because of his strive for power and the fact that my deck relies extremely heavily on him to, do some ridiculous combos, I still have his image up here for now. Who knows? Maybe with the next set that releases, Nicol Bolas will be replaced by someone else. But anyways, so I have a Tron Walker versus a Nauseam video to share with you all today. And these were some pretty interesting matches. Like for me, prior to this match, I didn't really have a way to win against Ad Nauseam. Like, it's one of those decks that you don't run into, well, I don't run into very often. So I never came up with a strategy or a way to sideboard to win against Ad Nauseam. But I played a game against him earlier, and since it was a pretty good game, I'm just going to go ahead and upload those videos and share my thoughts as to, how to try to play against them, in case you're playing a deck that's similar to mine. Alright, so let's get this started. So, starting off, I lost the flip. My opponent gets to go first. At this point in time, of course, I'm looking for 2 pieces of Tron. In this case, I get it right off the bat, so I went ahead and kept. When I saw my opponent played a gemstone mine in the very beginning, I was like, okay, this opponent's pretty good. They're expecting to win this game in 3 turns or less. And then something I noticed, they had Lotus Bloom suspended. So yeah, in 3 turns, something big is gonna happen. And the clock has already started. So, getting my second turn, play my second piece of Tron. Then my opponent went ahead and exiled a Simian Spirit Guide from his hand so that he could play a Pentad Prism. Then right after that, I went ahead and played a Cascading Cataracts because I did not draw into, natural Tron. Or a forest, that way I could go fetch another piece of Tron, which would be the last piece, and be able to play it next turn. But we'll just keep going here. So, on the opponent's turn, Lotus Bloom came in, Pentad Prism was here, he had 1 land here. But I think what he was missing was, he was just missing 1 more mana to be able to use his spell to go ahead and win the game. Fortunate for him, I was able to get Kind Great Creator out on the field. And then my opponent ended the game right there. So, because the opponent ended the game, I just decided, okay, I guess we'll go to game 2, because at this point I realized that Kind Great Creator entering the battlefield turns off his artifacts, and his artifacts is what he relies on heavily to accomplish his combo. Alright, let's throw my man Bolas here again while I get the second game on. Okay, so this is game number 2. My opponent knows what I'm playing. Ish. I know what they're playing. Alright, let's see how this goes. My opponent's going first here. So naturally, I'm mulligan down to get 2 pieces of Tron. In this case, I get 2 pieces of Tron and an expedition map. So let's see. If I had to guess which card I got rid of here, I'm going to say Sylvan Scrying because it is not needed. Am I right? Let's see here. My opponent mulliganed as well. Oh, not Sylvan Scrying. Oh. Okay, it was Sylvan Scrying. Okay. The reason why is if I have Cascading Cataracts in hand and something happens to my Oath of Nissa, I can then just go ahead and use my Cascading Cataracts to set my mana to cast all my Planeswalkers. So opponent played Gemstone Mine again. Played Serum Visions, just to scry a couple cards. In my case, I went ahead and played the Mine and an Expedition map. And the clock has started on Lotus Bloom. So my opponent played another land, then played the Phyrexian Unlife. After that, I went ahead and fetched my last piece of Tron. And Lotus Bloom getting ever closer to resolving. Alright, here, went ahead and played the last piece of Tron. And I was trying to find Karn Great Creator here, but cycling and cycling, still no Karn yet. Then I was able to get Ugin Spirit Dragon, and then I had Expedition map in hand, so I figured, you know what, let me just play Expedition map. That way next turn I can play Ugin the Spirit Dragon for sure. Or that was my intent anyways. But like Lotus Bloom has been exiled for 3 turns now, so it's time for it to hit 0 and come to the battlefield. Oh, exactly what happens with this card is it gets exiled with 3 time counters on it during my opponent's or during the owner's upkeep. One of those suspend counters on it goes away, and when it hits 0, you get to cast the spell for free during your upkeep. So in that turn, you can sacrifice it and add 3 mana of any one color. Alright, so yeah, my goal here was to go ahead and exile Phyrexian Unlife, which would make it to where my opponent would need at least Angel's Grace to go ahead and use his Ad Nauseam combo. But my opponent had other plans for me here. He went ahead and casted Ad Nauseam, and pretty much at this point he just combos off. You reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand, and you lose life equal to its converted mana cost, and you may repeat this process any number of times. With his Phyrexian Unlife here, it says, as long as you have 0 or less life, all damage that is dealt to you, as though its source had infect. But in this case, since he's not getting dealt damage, he could just lose as many life as he wants. In this case, he loses all his life and then some. So he just keeps doing it over and over and over and over and over again. Typically, whenever someone uses Ad Nauseam, they draw like their entire deck. I'm just gonna fast forward this. Okay, keeps losing life. So he has 44 cards in hand right now. Okay, entire deck in hand, and at this point in time Ad Nauseam resolves because there's no cards left, and he doesn't have a need to try to wait to see if the trigger resolves or anything. Then he goes ahead and exiles, I think, 3 Simian Spirit Guides, which adds 3 blue mana for him, and then he goes ahead and casts this card, which is Lightning Storm. It deals X damage to any target where X is 3 plus any number of charge counters on Lightning Storm. Discard a land card, put 2 charge counters on Lightning Storm. You may choose a new target for it. Any player may activate this ability, but only if Lightning Storm is on the stack. So, in this case, I guess I could have, went ahead and discarded a couple lands or whatever, but who cares? My opponent can't be killed by damage at this point, so he has to be killed in other ways. And that's just this is the combo that he used to win against me. So he pretty much just started dealing damage to me because of Lightning Storm, because he has all the lands in his deck in his hand at this point. So he just discards all of them, deals a bunch of damage to me, and that is game. So alright, go back, pull this up, and let's go to game number 3. Alright, so y'all saw the first 2 games so far. I'm going to go through this game a little bit faster than the previous 2. Alright, so here I'm playing first. And I start out with a hand with 3 of the same Tron land. Did not keep that. Now I start with 2 of the same Tron land. 2 of the same Tron land and a mine. I'm not sure what I clicked on there. Okay, I guess I had mulligan twice. But I keep the typical hand that you think I would keep. I kept Ugin Spirit Dragon over Ugin the Ineffable because Ugin Spirit Dragon is just better. It just has a lot more long-lasting effects. And the fact that it can board wipe and win games is just priceless. So turn 1, turn 1 into power plant, mine. Typical, Tron plays. My opponent, though, has 2 Lotus Blooms exiled on turn number 1, which means that 2 turns, and my opponent is going to be able to use his ad nauseam and win the game. So turn number 3 here for me. I did not get Tron, so that means I did not get the ability to play Kind Great Creator yet, which is unfortunate. And then on turn number 4, all I was hoping for was a land, and I got a power plant now. So because I got the power plant, I went ahead and played Kind Great Creator, and since I didn't know what to do with him at this point, I just went ahead and upped the loyalty counters on him, and I chose no targets to make into a creature. Typically, his ability lets me select an artifact, and it gets made into a creature with power and toughness equal to its converted mana cost. But I didn't want to give him a free creature for no reason, so I just pretty much didn't choose a target. One thing I could have chosen as well was Sorcery of Spyglass, but I didn't have any mana for it, so the best choice was just to, go ahead and just up Karn, that way he couldn't kill it with burn damage or something crazy, I don't know. Alright, so both his Lotus Blooms come down and hit the battlefield, and now on my opponent's turn, they were a little bit short on mana, so you skip back to my turn. On my turn, I go ahead and find, let's see which card I choose, Liquid Metal Coating. The reason for Liquid Metal Coating is my opponent obviously needs mana, but judging by the fact that he has 2 Lotus Blooms and a Pentad Prism, which all add mana, that means he needs more mana, right? So because he needs more mana, I made it my goal to go ahead and put Liquid Metal Coating out, and then put a stop on the upkeep for both me and him. That way I could deactivate one of his lands. In response to that, he played Angel's Grace and went ahead and used Spoils of the Vault. And you choose a card name, reveal cards from top of your library until you reveal a card with that name, then put that card into your hand. Exile all other cards revealed this way, and you lose 1 life for each of the exiled cards. And then my opponent just goes through here and he just starts, losing life and all that stuff. And he ends up using echoing truths. Oh man, that word's so weird to say. Echoing truth. And he bounced Karn Great Creator back to my hand because he didn't want me to use Karn to start blowing up his lands. And he just kept using it all the way until he got to -20 life. Now what happened at this point in time is, as soon as the game went to cleanup step, it automatically made him lose the game because it said you can't lose the game this turn and your opponents can't win the game this turn. Until end of turn, the damager that will be dealt to you that reduce your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. So at this point in time, -20 life. He didn't get... Yeah, I guess he did get dealt damage by his own spell or whatever. But I think part of the reason why he went ahead and scooped where he lost here is just he has 7 cards left in his library now and there's really nothing for him to do. So he just went ahead and scooped this game. And that was it. That was Tron versus Nauseam. Game number 3. Now, for me personally, that was a pretty good game. Did teach me a little bit about how to play against Nauseam. I just have to, rush and see if I can get Karn Great Creator out in the battlefield and start destroying artifacts or naming Lotus Blossom, Lotus Bloom, or Pentad Prism. I think Lotus Blossom is probably one that's super underplayed here in Nauseam since it doesn't quite fit the colors correctly. But it is a possibility. So yeah, now I can say I have an idea of how to play against Nauseam. But it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. Karn Great Creator here for MVP. But yeah, this was an interesting game for me, so I wanted to share with you all. And hey, I'll be making some more videos, so if y'all want to be notified, just go ahead and subscribe. Leave a like and a comment down below if you think the videos are interesting. If you would like to see me change anything. Maybe you would like to see me put this image of Nicol Bolas here up sooner. As soon as I start talking about stuff. But yeah, I think it was a good game. Let me know what you guys think. If you think something else should have happened that didn't happen, let me know. Any of y'all are professional players with Nauseam, and you think there's another way that I can play against it, by all means, please let me know, because I could use the advice. Like, I know my deck list is posted on a couple of my videos, so if y'all check those out, and you know what the deck has to offer, and you see something that could potentially work against Nauseam very well, please go ahead and let me know, so I can use that for next time. Like, even now, just sitting down talking about it, I guess one thing that I could do is, if I'm going against Nauseam, I have to make sure I sideboard in Sorcery of Spyglass. The reason for that is, I could turn off his Lotus Bloom right off the bat on turn 2. And since I have 4 copies of Karn as well, that'll be 5 cards in my deck that could potentially work perfectly against someone who's playing as Nauseam. But that's the one thing that I could think of now right off the bat. I think besides that, the only other thing is Chalice on 1, which is just as bad for me as it is for my opponent, because then Angel's Grace will be offline. Or Chalice on 4 or 5. I'm not sure. I'm not a pro here at playing ad nauseam at this point. I would just say I'm decent now and playing against ad nauseam, because at least I have some kind of win condition that I can look forward to. But alright, I will catch you all later. Also, the video quality on these videos that I'm uploading tonight should be a little bit better than the ones I uploaded previously. I didn't realize I lowered my settings on here a little bit on OBS, or I think it was automatic and I didn't realize. I was just going through uploading videos because I was spending so much time streaming on Twitch that I just kept, playing decent games, and I just wanted to upload video content of it on YouTube, so I just kept uploading videos. I happened to watch one of the videos earlier today, and I realized, oh man, I can't really read the card. Lucky for me though, I do kind of go in details about what some of the cards do, and if you do play Modern specifically, it should be pretty easy to catch on. But if not, now I am making videos that are in 1080p, so it should help with the quality a decent amount. Alright, I will catch you all on the next video, and hope y'all keep enjoying Magic.